Remember the 80s.
TV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Well, a very good evening, everybody. I'm here live from the Adirondack Bank Center for Hockey Night in Utica, which is a rare occasion here in the month of December. In fact, there will only be 2 of these for the remainder of this calendar year. The Comets have only 2 home games in this month, and tonight the Comets are back at home taking on the Providence Bruins here in the cozy confines of the Aud, coming off quite a stretch for this team. Now, after losing the first 13 games of the season, of course, it's been very well documented. They've rattled off 5 straight wins leading into Wednesday, where they dropped a hard-fought game 3-2 to the Rochester Americans on the road to snap that streak. But despite that, the team still feels like they're playing pretty well and felt like they played pretty well in that game as well. Now they look to start a new winning streak, and it's against another familiar opponent. The Comets will host the Providence Bruins for the 2nd time in 9 days and face the Bees for the 3rd time in that span overall. Now, after dropping all 4 contests against Providence last year, Utica has taken the first 2 meetings this season, outscoring the Bruins 8-3 in that span. The recent win streak elevated the Comets out of the basement in the league overall. They were dead last just a couple of weeks ago, now 4 teams behind them in the overall league standings. It's also pulled the team to within single digits, 9 points behind the Belleville Senators for the 5th and final playoff spot in the North Division. So again, despite Wednesday's loss, the team is feeling pretty good about their recent stretch. And yesterday at practice, we caught up with the 2 Ryans, where they spoke about the encouraging signs that they've shown and how the new coaching staff has helped the players right the ship.
Well, I guess, we looked at last night's game. There was a lot that we were happy with. You look at the course of the game flow, it was positive. And so I think there's a lot we can build off of from that. And like I said, the only thing where we got into trouble was the self-inflicted wounds. So if that's the case, we can clean those up. There's so many positives that we have that we can take from last night. If we carry that over, it should be a good match, and especially that we know Providence so well. Looking forward to that.
You guys brought some really good energy for us, some good teaching points of the game, and not so much systems or anything like that. It's more so the type of game that we want to play, how the game should be played, and just kind of respecting the game as what it is. You don't want to get in these trade chances and high back and forth chance matches. That's not what we want to do. We want to play the game with respect, play the game with integrity, play it the right way, and when you're able to do those things, you can kind of control the way the game's played, and it just puts a lot less stress on everyone else, and that's kind of been the big focus is not stressing out your teammates, not putting pucks in bad spots for other guys, and that's just kind of been the mentality we have. So he's done a really good job of just kind of getting back to teaching those, fundamentals of the game, and just, all these fundamentals that we know that we've been playing with for however long, but sometimes you kind of forget about them and get away from them. So just kind of touching up on those things has been a big difference for us.
So certainly high words of praise from the captain for interim head coach Ryan Parent. Also, another note, again, as we first told you yesterday, the Comets will be without Nico Dawes in this one. He's out with a minor injury that sustained in practice earlier this week. The team is hopeful, though, that he will be back next week. So Isaac Poulter likely getting the starting goal, with recent Adirondack call-up Tyler Brennan backing up. Warm-ups get underway here in just a few minutes, and puck drop against the Bruins here is at 7 o'clock. Now, while all this is going on here downtown, down the thruway in Syracuse, Whitesboro taking on Somers in the Class A state final for the 2nd straight year, a rematch of last year's final. Right now, the Warriors are trailing Somers 6-0 in the first quarter of that one. Still plenty of time, though. We have John Serio up at the Dome right now, and he'll be getting highlights and post-game reaction for that one, as Whitesboro looks to end Somers' reign as they're going for a three-peat, and Whitesboro looking for their first ever state title. Now, coming up tomorrow, a bit of a change here. Originally set for 3 p.m., Frankfurt Schuyler, Moravia, in Moravia, now going to be 8 a.m. for the 8-man final at the Dome. So we will have more on that tonight at 11. And coming up at 11, we'll have that and Athlete of the Week. Also some local hockey action for you in the high school ranks as well. Comets getting set to take on the Bees. I'll see you tonight on Sports Express.
This is Sports Express. Brought to you by the law offices of Ricardo J. Morrow, GPO Federal Credit Union, and Scalzo, Zogby, and Wittig Insurance.
Welcome back aboard the Express. It's time to switch gears to the ice now, where the Utica Comets are showing encouraging signs, but looking to bounce back after having their 5-game winning streak snapped at the hands of the Rochester Americans on the road Wednesday. Tonight, they were back at home for the first of just 2 games at the Adirondack Bank Center in the month of December. It's hockey night in Utica. And hello, Bruins, our old friends. The Comets squaring off with Providence for the 3rd time in the last 9 days, second here at the Odd. Utica won both previous meetings by a combined score of 8-3. You think the Bees forgot about that? Guess again. Just 3:10 into the first. Georgi Merkulov snaps a laser off the toe drag that beats Comets goalie Isaac Poulter glove side through traffic as Providence gets on the board early. After that, Poulter would do everything he could to keep Utica within 1. Power play Providence, the Comets netminder with an incredible sliding stop in the back door. 1-timer. Bees working around, but Poulter with the acrobatics makes a couple more saves here, loses the stick, but keeps it out. What a flurry there. Absolute chaos as he finished with 23 saves on the night. Now that'd be big because the Comets would find their footing and get to work on the forecheck. Nolan Foote pokes free from 3 defenders. Brian Hallinan trailing, roofs it. Going upstairs with a snipe to tie the game at 1. Providence retook the lead with under 4 seconds to play, but in the second, Utica on the man advantage and taking advantage as Xavier Perron, not to be confused with interim head coach Ryan Parent, same spelling though, goes off the pipe and in on the backdoor feed from Chase Stillman. We're knotted up again at 2. Then the Comets make a big push, and it was Bees netminder Brandon Busey coming up strong. Shane Bowers all alone, short-handed, but Busey flashes the leather and gloves it down, keeping it even on a huge chance. Special teams, the name of the game tonight, folks. Just over 5 minutes to play. Bruins moving it around off the face-off, and Matthew Poitras finishes off the tic-tac-toe with a rip in the slot that finds the back of the net. That gave Providence a 3-2 lead after 2, and the Bruins hang on to win it by that same score as the Comets drop their 2nd straight. Now a week off before a tilt with the Syracuse Crunch in Cuse next Saturday. In the high school ranks,
This is Sports Express Athlete of the Week. Brought to you by the law offices of Ricardo J. Morrow, GPO Federal Credit Union, and Scalzo, Zogby, and Wittig Insurance.
Welcome back to Sports Express. Our final Athlete of the Week for the fall sports season takes us back to Whitesboro football with stand out, wide out, Connor McDonald. Connor is earning this achievement pretty quickly in his high school career. He's only a sophomore, folks, but it only makes sense because like everything else he does on the field, he does it fast. McDonald is known for his speed and versatility on the gridiron. He's been a fixture of the passing game all season long and one of senior quarterback Memphis Ferguson's favorite targets. Connor had 13 receiving TDs heading into tonight's championship game and was 1 yard shy of 700 yards through the air. And after last Friday's monster performance against Brighton in the state semifinal in Vestal, where he rushed for 192 yards and 3 scores in the Warriors' win, McDonald entered tonight with 13 rushing touchdowns and 726 yards on the ground. Talk about balanced. The young man is touted as a leader on the team, and his maturity, skill set, and football IQ are all way ahead of the curve, kind of par for the course for Connor.
It meant a lot to me, getting all those carries. I mean, I've been catching the ball a lot this year, but if I have to do it on the ground, I'll do anything I do for this team to get to this point, and now we're here.
Connor's a special player. I've been doing this for 17 years and have been fortunate to coach a lot of really good sophomores, one being Kyle, Steve Allman, Mike Sullivan, just guys like that. But Connor is really something special. He can do it in the pass game. He can do it in the run game. But what makes him so special for being such a young kid is his football IQ. He just knows the game so well. He's so coachable. He does everything right.
It's a great program. It's an experienced program, and they know what they're doing around here, and I feel like it's a great experience for me.
I think him playing a year on JV and getting all those reps and just playing all the time, it made him a better player. And he's come up here and he's just been nothing short of amazing, and he's got a great future. I think he's a Division I football player and just a really special kid. And he came in expecting to play. He didn't back down. The kids respect him. He's a leader out there, and like I said, he's one of our vocal leaders. He just knows everything that's going on. I can't explain it. Kid's 15 years old, and he's like a coach on the field.
Good stuff. Congrats, Connor, Coach Schmidt, and the rest of the Warriors.